But what issues do we face every day? Do you stress about work or school? Maybe you worry about the type of car you drive or the size of your house. Life can be hard and stressful, right? Now just imagine that you don't know where your next meal is going to come from. In fact, according to the World Hunger Organization, 925 million people in the world are hungry right this second. It's hard to imagine that every 1 in 7 people in the world are starving, but with the development of biotechnology and genetically modified crops, there is hope for our future. Tonight I'll explain to you what genetically modified crops are and the benefits that they have in helping solve this world hunger crisis. So first of all, what are genetically modified crops? Scientifically, they're plants that have had their DNA scientifically modified through genetic engineering and through specific processes like plant breeding. But in layman's terms, what they're trying to do is create a plant with the most highly desirable traits that make it maybe insect resistant or drought resistant. But overall, the main purpose of genetically modified plants is to produce more food, which leads me into the first benefit of these plants. It's cut and dry, produce more food, feed the world. Dr. Norman Borlaug won a Nobel Peace Prize doing just this with genetically modified crops. From 1950 to 1990, the amount of grain produced in the world increased from 650 million to approximately 1.9 billion tons. That's an increase of 170%, using the same amount of land the entire time. Which leads us to our next point, is genetically modified crops are actually very good for the environment. And what I mean by that is when you don't have to use more land to farm, that opens up more land for nature, such as there's less of an impact on things like soil erosion and wildlife. Forests are left alone, grasslands are left for nature. It's just overall is better for the quality of the environment. Finally, in recent years, there's been a large push toward these natural and organic foods because they're supposed to be healthier and safer for you. Well, that is just not true. The FDA monitors all food that is distributed to the United States. And if these genetically modified plants were in any way unhealthy for you, the FDA would not allow the sale of them. And there is absolutely no scientific evidence or reason to support that these genetically modified plants are harmful to humans. To quote Dr. Norman Borlaug, most people in the Western world are urbanites and they don't know what it takes to feed the world. These people can afford to buy expensive organic foods and to criticize genetically modified food. They pressure governments to ban genetically modified foods, and that can be disastrous for developing nations. World hunger is a real problem that cannot be ignored. We must continue to use the science and technology of genetically modified crops to help feed the world. Thank you.